All right, here's another linear programming problem. So the first step is always to define your variable. So before I even read the entire question, I go straight to the end and I look at what it says. How many trays of each type of muffin? So I'm going to call X the number of trays of blank muffins. Notice I haven't even read the problem yet. And Y the number of trays of blank muffins. So now let's go back and find out. Maybe I'll need a Z also, but probably not. Baking a tray of banana muffins, okay? Banana muffins takes 4 cups of milk and 3 cups of flour. These are constraints I'm going to build in just a second. Baking a tray of blueberry, okay? Blueberry muffins takes that much and that much. A baker has that much and that much. He makes that much profit per banana and that much per blueberry, yada, yada, yada. Very classic problem. So let's first set up our constraints. Our constraints are going to be, let's do cups of milk constraint. 4x, 4 cups of milk for every banana muffin, plus 2 cups of milk for every blueberry muffin is limited by 15 cups of milk. So that has to be less than, 16 cups of milk. Got it? Then let's do our cups of flour in blue. 3 cups of flour for every banana muffin. Remember, X is the number of banana muffins. And 3 cups of flour for every blueberry muffin is less than or equal to 15 cups of wheat flour. Now let's make our profit equation. Let's do this one in black. The profit, $3 per tray of banana muffins. So the profit equals 3 times X plus 2 times Y. And that's it. And then of course we know that X and Y both have to be greater than or equal to 0. But that's all we have. So now let's come up with the best way to graph these things. I might even be able to fit this on this page right here. Let's see if we can. Let me erase this and move it over here. The profit equals 3x plus 2y. So we're going to graph. Notice that we only need the first quadrant since they both obviously have to be positive. And let's come up with our points. Remember, I always prefer to find the intercepts. So the points would be, if I plug 0 in for x, I would get 8 for y. Plugging 0 in there. If I plug 0 in for y, I get 4 for x. So 0, 8, and 4, 0 will create one line. And then for the blue one, you can see right away what it's going to be. 5, 0, and 0, 5. So I know that the y has to go up to 8, the x has to go up to 5. That's pretty easy to do. So let's just go over here on our axes. Let's go, I need just 8 things here. So let's go, oops, let's start that over. Let's call that 8 up here. So half of that would be about here, which would be 4. That would be 2, and that would be 6. Just kind of eyeballing it. So 2, 4, 6, 8, same thing. 2, 4, 6, 8. Now let's find our points. The red line, my point's going to be 0, 8. So there's 1 point up there. 4, 0, that's 1 point down there. Connect the dots, and you've got your one line. And it's got to be less than or equal to that, so you know that it's going this way. And the blue line is going to be 5 and 5. So your blue line will look like this. So it's going to intersect somewhere in between, and you know that also has to be down. So your intersection is going to be in here somewhere. So I only really have 3 points to worry about. The points that I have to check into my profit equation are this point here, which is clearly 0, 5. This point here, which is clearly 4, 0, and this point right here, which I need to solve for it by solving this system of equations. So that system of equations, I'm going to write it up here and solve it. 3x plus 3y equals 15. To solve the system, the best way to do it is just to multiply the top equation by, let's say, 3, and the bottom equation by -2, and that way I'll eliminate the y. So my equation is going to be 12x plus 6y equals, what is that, 48? And the bottom equation is going to be -6x minus 6y equals -30. So those cancel. That means 6x equals 18, which means x equals 3. And if x equals 3, plug that back in here. Any one of them is fine. That's 12, 4, 2. Y would equal 2. So that point is 3, 2, which it kind of looks like. Good. And so 3, 2 is my max, and the maximum profit, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself here. So those are my 3 points. Now I've got to figure out what the profit would be for each of those 3 points. My 3 points are 0, 5, 3, 2, and 4, 0. So put x, y into here, 0, 5 into here, that would be 10. Put 3, 2 into there, that's 9, plus 4 is 13. And put 4, 0, that would be 12. So your maximum profit is making 3 trays of banana muffins and 2 trays of blueberry muffins. That will yield your maximum profit.